Welcome everybody here to Evercast, and before we get started, I'm going to roll the intro, and I just wanted to explain that I asked each of my friends here to go ahead and provide me with footage. Keep in mind this is their footage, so whatever you see is their fault. No, just kidding. But for real though, I took it, and this is the end result. So thank you everyone for showing up.
Hey, it would be your fault for asking for it.
Oh, true. You got me there, Crow. Right, let's get going. All right. If that doesn't get you in the mood, I don't know. I don't know what will. But before we get into that, all right. So as usual, let's introduce everybody to no particular order. To my right or left, we've got Rich from Bacon Ice Cream Productions. All right. Hello. And then diagonal from me, I can't point. We have Pete, the Ever Canadian.
Yo.
And of course, as always, we have the one and only Crow from the Crow Continuum.
Yep.
Crow. Well, we didn't hear that. So
yeah, I know you didn't hear that. I didn't fix my audio, but I knew you weren't gonna hear it.
Yeah. So what do you guys think?
I didn't even hear it for some reason.
Gotcha. So what do you guys think of the new intro?
Okay, man.
Yeah. I was super pumped. So yeah, that's what I
missed it. I'll have to watch it later.
What? Stop. Alrighty, so let's say hi to the chat here, of course, as always. Let's see, get it. I'm working today. Yeah. That's I have work on the weekends. They wonder Evercast will start on time. Yep, that's what we're trying to start on time.
No, now people are going to be showing up 15 minutes from now, expecting to be here for the start of the show.
Yeah,
so. That's it. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think was it Dan? I can't remember who gets credit. This show is like Gandalf. It arrives when it's supposed to. So it's like just be here at 10 a.m. Central, right? Whatever the time YouTube says, and that way you won't miss it.
or you could just keeping your eye on it 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
That works too. All right, who else we got here? We have Anim. I apologize. Amin? Yeah, it's in that wrong. We got Ian Hobbies. We got in the house Ken, like Kyer. Man, y'all are giving me tough things to pronounce again. Sorry.
I only do first names then.
We got Dan. I may have got you twice, which is all good. And then we have Dan Ruff. Oh, and then right off the bat, Ian Hobbies. Right off the bat. Okay, so we can go ahead and get this out of the way here. Actually, you know what? The one thing I didn't have it down here at the bottom, but it's all good. We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and we'll do this one. Yeah.
I'm surprised it's just not part of the intro.
Do you want it to be? Don't give me ideas.
Well, like if it's at the beginning, it'll just be out of the way.
Yeah.
But it takes part of the fun away. I think people like being the first one. Thanks, Billy. All right. We have RMGB TV in the house. The dawning of the third age of Evercast.
That's right.
Yep. We got skill checks. We got lemony pie. And then, all right, that's everyone so far. And then, yeah, what happened to the 15 minutes to start over? Well, like Crow said, just monitor 24/7. So yeah, we have a good show. There definitely is some news that's popped up. So we're gonna go through. We'll talk about that. We'll get to the new carts. There may be an update on the limited edition EXP. We'll talk about that, and then if there's time, we'll wrap up the Morphcat collection and we'll go over, because really it's one game but two games in disguise. But as always, we start off. So how's everyone's week been?
Well, it's been pretty good. I mean, super busy over here. Been doing all sorts of fun stuff over at the job. I have been able to get some cool stuff out there though. Been able to play some, and very Evercade related. Yesterday, on the way home, get home after picking up the kids, going out to dinner. It has arrived.
Wait,
But
move your finger. Move your finger.
Ah, there it is.
Nice.
Unopened.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't crack it yet. I might actually open it now.
Crack that baby.
It's just been so long. And then the plushie's back there. He's hanging out still in his bag. I had to crack it open too. And I got my little
I got
pins.
mine yesterday too, but I haven't opened it yet because I already had Indie Heroes. But
got my little pins.
My plushie's still MIA.
Dude, me too. Mine, I didn't get the update. Still said that it hasn't left the UK. I did email Funstock. They said they would check on the status. So
you said that was the last update. Was that it left the UK?
It just said leaving. Leaving the.
Yeah,
no,
that's
it said
the
leaving.
Last,
Yeah.
That's the last update I got. That was
and it's there on the
February
1st. So what I did, because I couldn't go another week without being with Indie Heroes 2, so I ordered another one from Video Games Plus. So I might get 2 copies. I don't care. It's a good enough collection to buy twice.
I've done that. I've gotten 2 copies of stuff.
Although I will say, my next collections though I didn't order. Well, when we get to that, didn't order through them. Who else do we got here? We got Disco 74. Week here has been busy. Although weather-wise, like Texas can't make up its mind, because we had earlier days where it was 80 degrees, like Fahrenheit, and then now it's like 50. I'm like, come on! It's just so frustrating. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy weather-wise here. It was in the upper 70s for the was like 3 or 4 days in a row. Well, not upper 70s, but like 72, 73, something like that, which is warm, considering that we're still in February. And then today it's 42. I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. It was a little chilly when I went out to the walk out to the local bakery.
Yeah, I when I walk outside, I'm like not even sure if I should be wearing a hat or not. Like,
it's crazy.
Right?
Up here in Vancouver, it's always kind of sweater weather.
Mm-hmm.
So for most of the year, except for 2 months in the summer, even then you can get by with wearing a hoodie for most days. So
it's like 35 degrees right now, but tomorrow it'll be 50.
It is I think 38 here now, probably. I don't know. I got to do the math. Will you guys just get on the metric?
Yeah, you got to get an Atari Jaguar and do the math.
See, Ian, what you did? You may open it. That's so cool.
It is resealable.
Hey, he can't breathe in there.
Yeah. What's on fire?
Yeah. So I haven't opened mine yet, but anyway, are we still doing?
That's a dehumidifier, obviously, right?
Oh no, it's not a dehumidifier.
What is it then?
A humidifier.
Humidifier.
Okay, some type of humidifier.
It's his pipe. That's how he stays happy. Just pushing out pot.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I haven't opened mine. I gotta open mine, but I just give it to my daughter.
You better keep that on a high shelf. Your dogs will destroy that, Rich.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not going anywhere near Pip.
Yeah, anything like that. My dog thinks it's her toy.
Oh,
that's fun. It's fun though.
While we're on the topic of ordering things, before we do get to some news, I do have a quick poll. So I wanted to add, with the delays and all that, in regards to the Indie Heroes 2 collection, just wanted to ask the community, if you ordered Indie Hero 2 bundles from Funstock, you're waiting, are you waiting like a sad panda until it arrives, or not waiting and just going to buy it from another vendor?
Mm-hmm.
22 votes. It looks like actually a lot. It's a lot of people aren't waiting, which I get that, because I forgot when we talk about the pre-orders, that's not until after the limited edition. So like, man, I'm not gonna have anything new to play.
Right.
But you got plenty of other stuff. You probably haven't finished Cathedral yet,
dude. Okay, so and I know people have been asked. So I have a love-hate relationship with Cathedral here, because I'm still stuck at that one boss, getting better, but so those kind of games are like, I hate it when I'm stuck, and then when I play it, I'm like, oh, and then I'll get through.
Do you want the strategy? Do you want the strategy that works for that boss?
Or maybe give me. So not to
don't. Okay, here's the thing.
Okay.
Don't. You know the platforms that come up on the sides?
Yes.
Just stay on the platforms, no matter what happens.
Even when the goo drops, even like when the goo drops down.
Yeah. Well, okay. When the goo drops down, obviously,
then dodge out of the way.
You do have to dodge, but you just stay on the platforms otherwise.
Like when those skeleton guys first run out and just kill them there.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to jump away from them.
Okay. And then what about and then his last form when the heads grow the legs with you just arrow those, right?
You can't. I mean, at that point the ground is covered with spikes anyway, so
yeah.
You'll just have to down thrust on the head, just bouncing up and down.
Okay, I'll try that strategy because when I would let them get close to me, I would whack him, do one down thrust, and move over. Because I feel like if I do two of them,
as soon as that happens, as soon as any of that stuff happens, you turn around and just start hammering the attack button. You'll just kill them instantly. You might have to dodge out of the way once or twice to get the bubbles or whatever that get shot out of the way. But every single thing, they got the bouncing skull heads that are bouncing around. They can't even touch you if you're up there. But then they got the boomerang guys and then the skeletons that just appear and run across the screen. Just turning around and attacking, it'll keep you safe the whole time.
Yeah, geeks blame YouTube. No, I know sometimes it can.
And trust me, once I figured the strategy out, that is one of the easiest bosses in the game.
Yeah, I'll have to go back to that. It's one of those things there where I get stuck at a boss, or sometimes, and you can get really sucked into it, or it can be,
Yeah, I usually can't stop until I figure it out. Or you know how I figured it out? I watched a YouTube video of somebody playing it.
Yeah, I'm trying. So normally
that's
I do that a lot.
Right?
This is the one game that I'm trying not to do that, but because it's like 1980 something, and you told me, it's fine. There wasn't an internet. You can ask your friend. Yeah, what's your mug?
Well, if you think about it, if you look it up on YouTube, it's like asking a friend you don't know.
Yeah. So here's we'll get into some new new things that you can get and all that. So here's my whole thing. I don't blame Funstock, for the cyber. If anything, the only thing I do blame them for is I wish that they would have thought, hey, people outside the UK, maybe we should use a different method to send stuff. Even if it costs us a little bit more money, it would make our customers happier. That's all. You know what I mean? That's really the only thing, because my next two carts, I didn't order it through them for that reason. So.
Well, I mean, the only thing for me is I would say if they could just get a ping out, it's like, oh, hey, there are further delays. Please hold on, that kind of thing. Just send a warm and fuzzy out, just to kind of keep people in the loop, because then at least then oh, well, they're tracking it on their side too, because they want to make sure that it gets to us, right? That's pretty much I know that sometimes it's considered above and beyond customer service, but hey, if it was me, I would try to do that. Make sure, just to kind of do, because it was weird though to be in the dark. It was what was it? It was 2.5 weeks or something like that post the last update from the tracking, and it's well, that's weird, right? It's completely uncommon that happened. So
let me put it this way: way way back when there was some iffiness, and sometimes things would get delayed in New York. I was still getting updates, it would say arriving tomorrow, not arriving. At least I was getting updates. This was just since the first, nothing.
Right. Well, it was the same. It was the same exact thing for me too.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing though is, you mentioned that you made an alternative decision to order your two new carts. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a glutton for punishment or whatever. I just went right back to. Went right back to the well. I was like, all right, well, Funstock has a thing. Here's the pre-order. Hit the button. Doom. Done.
Hey, just
we'll see what happens.
Just out of curiosity, where did you order the Indie Heroes from?
Video Games Plus.
Okay.
And see, no,
the second Indie Heroes.
Yeah. The second one.
I actually wound up doing that too.
Yeah. Well, see, and the thing, the funny thing, Rich, is just
Best Buy is the answer for me.
Best Buy, yeah. How you feel loyal to Funstock, that's how I feel with Video Games Plus. They've never done me wrong. They really.
The thought crosses my mind. You buy it, you get it, and then when you get the other copy, just return it to the other place.
Yeah, but then you got
to. That's true, I guess. I mean, well, the way I went too, it's super easy, because it's Best Buy. You know, like just go to the store.
What's funny, what I found out is I have an Amazon Fresh by me. What I found out I could do is I could return the stuff to Amazon just by taking it there.
Yeah,
I say I want to return it. They print out a QR code, or you can put it on your phone. You just hand them the box. You don't even have to box it up or anything.
Yeah, Amazon is the most ridiculous for returns sometimes, because you can go to like places that don't have no association with Amazon whatsoever, like Kohl's or like some random place.
Oh yeah, they do have it at Kohl's too. Yeah, Kohl's.
Like, what is this? It's so weird. It's convenient, but it's weird.
It's super convenient. Like, so the dock behind me, when I had like the iRevoler and it just stopped working, literally all I had to do was just take a screenshot of a QR code. And technically, I didn't even have to package it. I did that for the, as a favor for the people working there, because I still had the box. And all they had to do was just scan it. I just had to drop it off at a USPS store that was 5 minutes away. Didn't have to go through the hassle of printing anything or anything else. And they refunded my money. And then that same day, I ordered the JSOX, or however you pronounce it. And I didn't need it within 4 hours, but it's crazy how like that type of stuff comes. But yeah,
it's kind of wild. But yeah, I mean, Bilby's comment there. I mean, I don't know what happened with, or what is continuing to happen with Amazon particularly, and Blaze and Evercade. It's just so weird.
They also used to be really good, and then all of a sudden, it's just been like, okay, you're not going to get it for like another month or so.
No,
yeah, I mean, but also, can we get like someone from Amazon support? Like, not that they're going to watch this or whatever, but can we just get them to just like, if they're not Dreamcast games or Genesis games, like, can we just get like an Evercade category?
It seems like Blaze is the one listing them as Dreamcast, because I've seen other people post them as Evercade.
Oh, well then, come on. We got to get the Evercade category out of there. Like, let's go.
It's there. I think the Evercade category is there because I've seen other people post.
Yeah, we got to use it. We got to use it. Like,
I don't know why the official ones from Blaze are listed as Dreamcast or Genesis. I don't.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very strange.
I just get the impression that Amazon is annoyed with the way, I don't know, with the way that it's done and how the stock gets sent. They just don't seem to care, and so I just kind of like meh. So we'll see though. The really fun stock will win me back if we get the limited edition XPs, if those get sent out a different method and I can track it. Then that'll win me back.
I mean, or if Royal Mail figures itself out in the next month, and then like they're just kind of like they resume back to normal, because I'm with this is my default until the LEs and Indie Heroes 2, because not only except for they take it forever to get to me, because it's the exact opposite. I've had the best luck with Funstock ever until the LEs, because I'd pre-order on the day of, and then three or 4 days prior to the release of the product, it'd be at my door. And I'm like, you can't beat that. Like, let's go. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing.
I think Geeks is right. They have to work something out. But we'll see. The one thing too, I will say about with the video games, I do like the free shipping and you get bonus points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it's for like every, I don't know, maybe it's like every few $100 you spend, you get $5. But it's something.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, they're Canadian, which is amazing.
Speaking of those things, though, do we want to segue? Do we want to segue into Funstock directly asking us what we want?
Yes, you read my mind of where I'm trying to get, and that's into the Evercade news. But before we do get to that one thing, they actually have another item that was overlooked that I meant to bring up last week, and I'm kind of surprised no one else mentioned it. And that's actually pretty cool that they do have the carrying case.
That was actually one of the things that's coming in that bundle, I think, that I bought to get the free shipping. So I got the plushie, cool. I got this case, and I think that's something else. I don't even remember what.
Nice. It's very cool. It's kind of like the OG case. Only it
really is. Right? It really is. But what's funny about that? Because I've seen people post pictures. And then I've seen like Sean respond like, "Yeah, while that fits, you may not want to stretch it out." There we go.
Yeah, here's the OG, but it's like the smaller pocket, so you can put like the accessories.
Yeah.
And then and this one has like the full pocket. So
dude, you can fit six carts. Actually, I saw like on Discord like my heart dropped. Somebody posted, I guess whatever works, but they're like, I bring my Evercade games for work, and they had them in like in a plastic Ziploc bag. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I guess because like they're just gonna get scruffy and bang around.
Hey,
I'm like, no!
He's gonna have those games for lunch.
Nice. Thanks, everyone. Yes. See, that's the one thing, and I'll be curious to see when we get our limited editions. It would be better if it was a hard case because, like I tell you, like the Steam Deck case is impeccable. So
I use that my fake Evercade case is that NES. The NES Mini, they made a case for the NES Mini.
Oh, really? You're using that? Because I have that case. I have the one for the SNES too. You're using the NES case? How does that fit? Because
so you put the Evercade in the pocket where you would put the accessories in the case, that mesh thing on the top.
Okay.
You put the Evercade in there, and then all your accessories, your charging brick and your whatever, and then just like a handful of games go in where you put the NES and the controllers.
But isn't it like form fitted? Do you take the foam out or something?
Oh yeah. I took it out until like it's just like the because it's still finished even if you take those little pieces out.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty neat. But that's a work. Oh, I would have already pulled that out. So
we do awesome. We do have that survey. Oh, and there's one other change in the studio. If anyone in the audience notices. Why has no one said anything yet? But it's all good.
A change in the studio. Your studio?
Rich, you know what it is.
But you're such a tiny screen.
I didn't say it was on my screen necessarily. Like not live here. Anyways.
Nice.
Oh, but you said then what studio are you talking about?
If I say it'll give away. I don't know. Okay, the StreamYard studio there. That's what
Oh yeah. I know.
Just give it away.
Yes, I know what it is.
I don't.
But, we'll see.
Yeah, somebody's gonna wind up noticing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this survey, right?
Yeah.
How many? Everyone took it, right? Because why wouldn't you?
Yes.
I didn't.
You didn't take it?
Of course not.
What survey are you talking about?
Yeah, take the survey, man.
Wait, is this for Fun Stock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't normally order from some Fun Stock, so why would I take the survey?
If you go to their Twitter, actually, I didn't know about this until Rich talked about it like in one of his news flashcasts. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that they tweeted this out.
Yeah, it was cool. So and I think it was just on Twitter. I didn't see it pop up in the official group. I mean, it might have been buried there because it's a lot of there's some activity there, and you lose stuff sometimes. But on Twitter is where I found it, and as soon as I found it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Let's see what it's all about, because you never know. Sometimes these surveys, you can actually glean some information that they're thinking about before it actually happens. So, and it's pretty neat. There's some cool things in there.
And this is the link, to the Google. So when they ask, like, I'm glad they put other, because for me, I put like when there's an exclusive bundle that you can't get anywhere else. That's when I, that's when I get it. And then yes, the funny, why would you shop at? I think I put limited. I think I put limited editions, maybe like exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, I put my answer there was all the above.
Yeah, I figured.
And what I did was I put all the above, and then during the flashcast, I was like, well, we're gonna put an asterisk on reliable shipping, and like we'll talk about that in a bit. But we've already gone down that road.
Yeah.
But here's one of them though. What's your favorite type of Evercade merchandise? Come on.
Yeah.
I went with apparel because I mean I consistently wear things that have Evercade on them all the time now. It's this one. It's the one for the VS. It's the Safe in Our World shirt that a lot of us have. I could always use another one.
How come there's not an option for games?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, I think they're looking for things to be included with game bundles.
Yeah,
really.
Oh, I see.
Pete, did you pick the mugs and notepads, etc.? Did you pick that one?
What did I pick on that? I picked T-shirts, apparel.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I was torn between the two, but I would like even.
I don't trust them with mugs. They'll make baby mugs. I don't trust them.
True. True. Baby mugs. I love it. Awesome. And then travel items. I think I put a travel mug here.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing. Like, all right, there was the broad spectrum in that first question, and then it gets pretty hyper specific, like mug, water bottle, drink coaster, pin badges, t-shirt, cap, three things that have already happened, and then 3 things that may be able to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like this is I think where they're honing in that question. Like these are we asked you the first question, then depending upon what the answers are in the global sphere there, these are the options that you're probably going to get. So I mean, I could go with any one of those things. But obviously I'd probably lean more towards t-shirt. I already got the cap. I don't need another one.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I like it.
I think that's how people kind of filled it out. I'm not a huge fan of pins. I mean, if that's your thing, but anything coasters I wouldn't really use. Caps,
unless they make a cap, unless they make the cap with Katie on it. If I can get a Katie cap,
dude,
done.
See, and that was the whole, and we'll talk about like their next pre-order. But yeah, they didn't have that. It was just another pin set. And again, I mean,
yeah,
if you're into that type of thing, I mean
I've got them all, so it's like I can't not. It's like the cartridges now. It's just like, all right, fine. You can put another pin set. I have to have it now.
You're stuck.
I am. It's just like it's just a thing.
Yeah. No, I know how that is. That's what got me to want to get all the carts, the numbered system. So it's like that. Now here's one good thing. I'm glad that they asked, and I want y'all's opinions. For me, I like. So they said what type of schedule. I like the 2 cartridges every 2 months because I think it forces you to spend more time, and then you get like that free shipping as a bundle. So that's what I picked here. Yeah.
Single cartridges every month would kind of destroy the outside of UK market, in my opinion, because you'd be forced to buy something either that wasn't Evercade related or something you didn't necessarily want to get your cartridges every month in order to get the shipping. Because they just straight up won't ship to you until you get over. I saw that they lowered it. It's now £29.99 instead of £39.99. So
you don't have to buy it from Funstock.
Yeah, well, that's true, but also, like I have been. So as long as they continue to make it convenient for me as a customer, I'm telling them, as long as you continue to do that, I will continue to come back and order from Funstock literally every time, just because that's what I do. Ooh, a bonus material DVD. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
DVD. Yeah. What is this, 1999?
Right.
Or like a digital code or something.
Yeah.
That would be neat, though, to actually have a DVD. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't be able to fit it in the case, though, of course.
I hope nobody picked this one 3 or more with a longer. No, that's like too long.
Definitely not 3 or more at once. No, don't do that.
I figured this was like the Goldilocks choice. Like, it's too hot, it's too cold. This is just right.
I mean, unless so, and then my other argument for the 2 cartridges every month is like, one, it seems a little too much, but if somehow the floodgates opened and they got like the banger licenses, and then like that's the only way they can put them out is to do it. Well, then hit me in the face with the fire hose then for a little bit. That's all.
Right.
But I just don't think that's a realistic thing. I think the 2 every other is not only is it fine, but it's realistic. So I would rather keep that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, Dan. I mean, yeah, we'll show the pin set.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad. An option for better quality game cases.
Yeah.
I mean, the game cases themselves aren't too bad, but I will say, has anyone noticed that Generation 2 and on, the game cases have trouble like staying closed a little?
I've noticed that. I thought it was just a fluke with a couple of
I've noticed that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's if they could lock that down in production, that would be great, because I have my shelf here, and from left to right, I have them all in numerical order. The first like 12 or 15 are rock solid. I put them on the shelf, everything's fine. But as you get further along, in 19 through the current, every once in a while one will open and then it'll start pushing them. And then I've walked into the studio where things have actually fallen off the shelf because they open too much.
It's
like, wait, I don't have a cat. Like, what is happening?
You know what? Like I think we maybe talked about this many Evercasts ago. I'm glad that this was brought up. Like for me, like when the Morphcat collection and Television 2 collection, I can't keep those extra cards in there because it won't stay closed. So I have to keep those in a separate safe place.
Yeah. So
for that reason, and actually, I've had to swap out some cases. I've had some that were just like meh.
So I was actually just messing around with the Morphcat right before the show because I was having the same thing. But if you put the cards like on the bottom, like this, it'll close okay, and it'll keep closed.
Yeah.
So
I think I got tired of like fussing it with it open, and then when you want to take the game out,
yeah.
But somebody out there has an Etsy shop. It'd be funny, like make better closing Evercade cases.
That'd be kind of neat. That would be actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
If I was gonna make something like for that, like if I had a 3D printer, I'd just make, you know, how like the Atari 2600 had those shelves where you just slide the cartridges in. That's what I would make, just where you know, slide the cartridges in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this was like the last thing of the big one. I would like alternative shipping, and then I wrote in like I would like, you know, more rewards is fine too, but I would like, you know, more reliable shipping, like outside the UK to the, you know, that was my last thing.
I mean, like I said though, this could be just the fluke, right?
Yeah.
This hasn't been a consistent thing, and it's only been since the holidays when, you know, the country's primary mail system basically blew up. So, you know,
so what's interesting? So there kind of is an unofficial, like the shop app, right? I know what you mean. It'd be cool to have a specific one, but if you order from Fun Stock or you order from Video Games Plus, you can track both. But that would be
true.
Yeah.
But it would be cool though to have a mobile app, because then you could just be like, oh hey, you open the Fun Stock app, you have all your stuff saved, you go click, you know, that'd be neat. Yeah. That'd be cool.
True, Fabian. Yeah, with the hold the manual better, because sometimes those clips. Yeah,
it's true. There is a blurry crow.
Oh yeah, with the background.
No, he's actually just blurry.
Okay, so
I am blurry, am I not? I couldn't see because like I'm being covered up by.
Yeah, you're being covered by the news.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that covered you up there.
You should put me down there because you don't need to see my face.
That's weird. Okay, there we go. That's better.
Yeah, there we go. We got it.
Thank you. Right? Yep. Yeah. Great idea. Pete. Pete's like, I really want to hide. So yeah, it's like we were getting that done. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The pins, they look cool. They're VS pins, but I'm not. You know, I guess to your point, Rich. If I started the collection, then I'm like, okay, fine. I have to finish it with these.
The only thing though is, did this already happen? Was there the white on gray VS set? Like, did that already happen?
I
don't know.
I think so, but I think it might be a pin set that I haven't gotten, because I know they sell these pin sets separately.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to want the pin set, I would just buy the pin set from Fun Stock.
Right. Well, yeah. So I want to say that, I don't know. Maybe did they come with the LE? I
don't know. We may have to go.
And we have to like start digging around.
We have to dig into that. So you can do that, of course. Since we're talking about Fun Stock, have to promote video games.
Was there? I can tell you that these two cartridges actually showed up on Amazon, but they're not on Best Buy yet.
Oh, the two new pre-orders? Yeah.
Oh. No, the standard he's saying it. No, the standard VS bundle.
Oh, the standard VS bundle had the pins.
Obviously. Really, the standard.
That I don't think any of us got. So yeah, you can get the set, or you can get from them, because
I got the standard VS bundle, the standard release, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the white one.
See, patches. Yeah, like if there were like patches and it said like Evercade Club or something like that, that would be really
cool.
Neat. Yeah.
And if there was like if they did like a patch program kind of thing, that would be neat.
Yeah. And
actually, it is the same in the bundle. They are the gray with the white. Yeah.
And they're just recycling.
But if the bundle, if you're not going to go out and get the bundle for the VS, it's another way of getting the pin set, which is actually.
I'm sorry. It's the bundle with the EX for the EXP.
Achievement, yes. Achievement patches. Hey, Rigatoni.
Hey, how's it going?
And I can say it like that because I'm a Tony.
In fact, let's see. It might still be in my box.
Yeah. I hear you, and there's some of that not pre-ordering anything else until fair enough.
Yeah.
Patches like the Nintendo Club. I do want to mention too, because I know someone mentioned that you can get stuff from Songbird. What I really like about Video Games Plus is that you can get free or cheap shipping, and that they even though they do charge like tax, it's like $23 USD. So yeah, ever since our local Evercanadian Pete turned me onto them, I've never gone back. I strayed. What was like, I forget. There was one collection that that just in Canada in general was being delayed. I went back to what's I'm having super brain farts. What's the Sega Japanese collection? What is that?
The Sega Japanese collection?
Well, it's like the off-brand Sega collection that we got on Evercade. Renovation, thank you. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So that yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I should have said Sega first party, but that was the one with that gremlin where I ordered through them.
Renovation.
And it was that was renovation. Exactly. That was the one where it was fault of Fun Stock, and they did do me right by sending me another one, but I had to like wait for forever. But that was more like some weird things going on here in the US. But otherwise, I've stuck with these folks. Matter of fact, they say that like if you cancel a pre-order, that they won't refund your money. But like they were so kind where they did that. They made an exception. Remember, it was when we could have got like the possibility of getting like the Television One collection like early, and then everything ended up being delayed. It was like one of those cards, and because of that, they refunded it.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get to the big news that I've been holding off on. I wanted to talk about those things, because when we talk about this,
sure,
it's gonna be game over. Obviously, I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but pretty much everybody who's bought limited edition, you should have gotten one of these, which is actually kind of funny because I know when Sean like announced like check your email in the Discord, like I got mine a little bit earlier, but just wanted to call out some key things. And of course, the biggest thing is they did retool it now, so where you're old. If you had like the first generation of the first 10 carts, those will fit. So they retooled that, and then and then it says they made some progress in finding out who's like resold them, and they've been able to get enough information for evidence. So that's good. I hope I hope nothing else that whoever did this does get prosecuted, to be like, hey, you can't do this, right? There has to be some justice. And then the big thing is, I like the wording on this, how they said that their factory is confirmed, right? So like, which is great, because like they've talked directly to the factory. All production will be completed by March 3rd, and then they're going to get everything logistically aligned. So then everything will be able to dispatch out between the 24th and the 31st. And I'm hoping that for people outside the UK, that Funstock does it right, and we actually have the limited editions in our hands somewhere between the 24th and the 31st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at the very latest, like it's if it's dispatching, like actually leaving Funstock between those two dates, then we get it, first week of April. That would also be fantastic, because then we have them right before the release of the next two cartridges, which we, some of us just pre-ordered.
Yeah. So what do y'all think? I'm happy. I'm thrilled. Now we're getting some hard set dates.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great to absolutely have this, kind of like like they have it in hand. The factory is able to produce the things. There isn't some other delay. There isn't like, oh, here's our update, we're waiting for a part. Like here's our update, we're waiting for logistics. No, I mean the factory is confirmed that production is already underway and will be completed by this date. That's fantastic. And then all they have to do is get them over to Funstock so they can start putting them up there. So, I mean, awesome. I'm all about it. I think it's cool too that they went by and fixed the the cartridge slot. They made that adjustment on the casing. I think that's cool too. Yes. And then hopefully the Rev 2s, any future runs of the standard EXP will also include that revision as well. So
here's what's funny about this. Because the casing itself is black, I don't think we're going to see any light bleed.
Yeah, we might not know. That's true. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Kind of. Yeah, I see that off top. Like, is there going to be enough left over for renovation too?
I think so. I mean, Renovation.
Oh, yeah, there's still plenty of games in Renovation.
Yeah, I mean, there might not be as big of a collection. This is 12 games on here. Renovation 2 might be 8 or 6 or something, but still.
Well, the interesting thing is that Renovation is just the U.S. Name for the Telnet games, like the games from Telnet, Wolf Team, and so on. So they're really not from Renovation. It's just a publishing name.
Right. Like working design.
Confirmed. But yeah, Black. Yeah, he has no light bleed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool.
So yeah, so that's pretty much all we have in the news here. Actually, so I do have a cool. If Richardson wants to talk for a second, I do have you can kind of actually sort of see it in the corner right there. That I can have a cool video game on Evercade video game related show and tell that I want to show real quick.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough. You all will like. Let me just there we go. That way you don't have to see me bending over.
All right. Well, he's getting that stuff.
You need something like this.
Yeah, exactly.
so check. Okay, so yeah, I've got it now. Oh, that didn't take as long as I thought. So
what do we get here?
Let me make myself solo layout. Okay, so my wife recently got into cross stitching.
Yeah.
And so check this out. She made this here.
That's very cool. Very neat.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. Yeah, what doesn't kill me makes me smile. I love that. That is so awesome.
My wife does cross stitching too, and I've got stuff like that all over the place.
That's awesome. Very neat.
Yeah.
Very neat.
It's funny because I heard something by the door, and she actually slid that under the door and someone used a yardstick to push that to push that through. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. No, and so yeah, so I love that. There may be another, because then she asked me, hey, do you have any other video game scenes? And I may have one that's has more meaning. But yeah, I love. Yeah, then that was the first one. So yeah, I feel gross. Yeah, so that definitely. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I derailed everything, but yeah, I just it's just crushed it. It's neat because all those characters and things are in 8-bit anyways, and it's just really you have to have a lot of patience and precision. And she took a pattern and then she added that thing. Doesn't kill me, makes me smaller. So I'll find it. It's very cool. I need to do something else. Actually, I decided to move my VS book out here more to kind of swap for games. And you know what? That is for getting the special edition. That's the one accessory that I use more than anything. I put my 6 games that I want to play, and then I don't have to open and keep closing those cases and loosening them. I wish they need to make a white one available to people. I would probably buy another one if they did.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not particularly fond of using that case. I just don't like opening and closing it.
Oh, wait, which one?
The one that came with the limited edition VS.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
You know what, Crow? 100% right, because you have to have super strong fingernails. So what I do is I just close the top. I don't close the whole thing. I just close the top. It keeps the dust out to easily open because it's impossible.
Because here's the other thing is I'd only use it for traveling, but then I wouldn't because I'd be afraid of it getting dented.
Right. Yeah. That's why it's actually been sitting up here on the
yeah.
And it just I don't use it because I use that other case.
Yeah, that's a good idea though. I might have to try that next time.
I just keep my carts in a clear white baggie.
I use a grocery bag.
I have so many Evercades. I have so many Evercades. No. Every one of them has all my carts in them. So.
Cat broke.
Oh
Pets
no!
love to do stuff like that.
They do.
I really don't know where my steelbook case is.
Maybe it's in the box because that's where I put mine. I put it back in the box.
Yeah.
My box is.
Mine's in front of the box. I've got the box for the VS, and then right in front of it is the steelbook, and on top of it is the box for my very odd looking Retron 77. Because when I got my second one, I couldn't find the wood grain one, so I got the one that looks like it's translucent orange.
Got it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So did we want to wrap up the last one, or I guess really it's the last 1.5?
Yeah, let's do it.
Morphcat.
Boom.
There you go. Rich is
Let's talk about that mage.
At the ready here.
Me. I'd say this collection in general is probably in my bottom 5 collections.
So did you not like?
No,
did you not like the micro mages?
Not necessarily, not my favorite cup of tea.
I really liked it, and that was just playing it single player.
Yeah. I don't know.
I would consider buying a physical cartridge of this. I know there is. I just haven't. Mm-hmm. I would consider it.
You know, funny thing you mentioned that. I've thought about if I was going to take up collecting, then maybe, you know what, that would be kind of cool. Like, get all the physical carts of all the indie games, and then maybe even get all the physical carts of like the non. You know, that would be.
Oh, you don't want to do that because you'd be out of money.
Yeah, it'd be expensive. But at least like Doodle World, though, I saw there was like a limited edition of 12 of them from the dev. They're selling them like $50 complete in box. So that's at least
Which
not
one?
too. Doodle World.
Doodle World. Oh yeah. Actually, all of those. I guarantee all of those indie games, Indie Heroes, Morphcat, and what was it, Mega Cat? You could get physical copies of almost all of those games, if not all of those games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
this is one of my favorite collections. This is one of my favorite collections. This one I could jokingly say it's like Indie Heroes 1.5. But yeah, even single player. No, I really enjoyed all this, and to have like physical copies. Yeah, you could like get it on Steam or whatever. But I thought it was neat. I wish I could play it 4 players, but or 2 players.
Well, I mean, you can if you have a VS, right?
Well, you need 3 other people. You need 3 other people. That's hard.
Yeah. Right.
Mike, I don't think it's any interesting.
Yeah, I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled because I can actually just bring it to where I work and then just grab people. And like, let's play this crazy game.
This was one of those ones too. I want to say that I enjoyed it so much that I played it through like just in a few play sessions. You know, and then afterwards I wanted to do second quest. But yeah, it's just
I kind of wish there was just more games on the collection in general. Like I'm not like I'm not bad games. It's just that it's just not games. That's not a collection I crave to play.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing about this is even when you beat the game, you still in order to really, really beat the game, you have to find all the hidden objects in every level.
Oh,
okay.
And then you get a special ending, which I didn't do. I actually played through it, but I wasn't going to go hunting for these objects.
How many levels is in Micro Mages? Because I never finished it either.
I think. Well, here's the thing: is like once you play through and beat the game, you have to play through it again in a harder difficulty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is BS.
I did that.
Well, you don't. It's not really. It's fun.
Well, you can't call it finishing it the first time. You just go through it. You don't finish it. The finishing it is the second time.
Well, then you could argue that you really didn't finish it unless you played the second quest.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't. That's what I'm saying. There's really you can't.
And it's the same thing. The second quest is actually, it's like almost exactly the same, except it starts harder to begin with.
Yeah.
And some of the boss elements are actually before the boss too now, but it's like the same bosses. Somewhere it said that there were new enemies, but there aren't. It's all the same enemies.
It's just between second quest and first quest.
The second quest is just the layouts are much harder.
So the like the secret items are they only in like these little block things?
They're in the chests.
Oh, they're in the chest. Okay.
Where you get the power-ups.
Okay.
So they look like orbs, I think. They're not the power-ups. Did I? Oh, okay.
That's what those are. Okay.
Yeah, you need to collect all of those in every stage in order to get the special ending.
Dang it, Chris. I might have to go back and replay it. But yeah, look, see, like what Fabian's like, the whole thing I love about this and like Indie Heroes is they are like pick up and play. Like, because some games you have to kind of decide, well, how much of a commitment do I want to do? And yeah, it is amazing. I don't know. I don't think, and we talked about this on the previous show. I don't think it renders it moot. An unfinished game. I don't. That's just bonus. And I think actually I told Sean like I like that. Like feel free to include, as long as you advertise it properly, like they did. Feel free to include it. For me, I don't mind the lesser quantity of the games. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of weird in that where I say. I think, Crow, like you actually asked me, like, you said, would you want to actually have some games that you don't like removed from a collection? I know I'm weird like that, but I guess it depends how much you like. If you really like all these games, then they stand alone. Otherwise, if not, then the strength of like, the Indie Heroes collection is having more games, or like your Ataris and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, there might be just like one game in a collection that like is really just worth getting for the collection. But the more games like that on the collection, the better.
Yeah.
So like this game for me was my favorite game in the collection. I would almost say it is worth the price of the cartridge just for this one game and the second quest as well. And then everything else is just kind of a bonus because there's really nothing bad on the cart. So that's the way I see this cart.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't the game like by itself like $15, and then the DLC is probably another $5 or.
Well, actually on Steam.
If you were to buy it on Steam, yeah.
On Steam, Micro Mages is like $10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
and it is just an NES ROM. I think that's all you're buying on Steam.
It's just a ROM.
Yeah, it's just an NES ROM.
Yeah. For me, what I like about this game, kind of like Ranu's Tale, however you say that, is I like when they take these games where they feel like very nostalgic, like they could have existed back like in the 80s, but they're made now. They haven't gone ahead and like redone and used like 3D graphics or any of that. Like they still stay true to the form.
The thing about this game is like they made this that it could be run on the NES, but without any additional chips.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that video is fantastic. I think it's gotten like over like 1 million views. That video is where they explain the efficiency of how they use the tile set. So that's why sometimes, when we talk about wanting some more like modern, like indie games, could they run an Evercade? Well, yes, possibly if the devs want to reprogram it just for Evercade.
Well, I mean, think about it. That's what they did for Cathedral. That's exactly what they did for Cathedral. And you know what? If they wanted to, they could have done the same thing with Alwa's Awakening. We could have gotten the original version, not the 8-bit version. But the 8-bit version is superior in some ways to the original version. But they could have given us both, I think.
Oh, I love the 8-bit. Yeah, I totally agreed.
But they would have had to recode it for the Evercade if they wanted to do it native.
Yeah,
which they would have had to do because it is it wouldn't run on emulated. The original game isn't emulated on anything, but the DLC is actually just an NES ROM, and that's what we got on the Evercade.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah, there we go. Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures 1 and 2. Where's that collection?
Yeah. Well, there's like what the heck is the developer that does those?
I don't know. I have it on Steam. Actually, I have Steam open right now.
Because they have a couple other games too that I saw at Too Many Games that actually are really cool looking as well. And to have like that developer collection that has the AVGN games and those others in a collect, that would be kind of cool.
Developed by Freak Zone Games. Published by Retroware.
That's the one. Retroware.
They published it. They didn't develop it.
And here's the second quest. Just throw that up. Since it's really all the same games. Yeah, no, I need to play Angry Nerd Adventures 1 on Steam Deck. I haven't played that like in forever. Yeah,
there are invisible walls in the second quest too. I think there might be some in the original.
Yep. It looks like we're in some trouble here.
No, I wouldn't have left this in if I died. Oh, yeah, they pop out of the chest.
Oh.
That's like, interesting. And then you can still open it and get a thing. That's neat.
Yeah. Actually, you wouldn't see me dying in this video, so.
Right.
That's pretty cool. But I mean, overall, though, I don't know. I really like Micro Mages, and it is a great game, and I'm glad that it obviously is on this collection. But it was weird that I wound up getting more intrigued by the other 3 games on this cart a little more than Micro Mages, and I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought I was going to get sucked into this and then be like, oh well, then this is it's the Micro Mages collection.
You could do 2 things in this game that really entertain me. I don't know why. Any game where you could do a wall jump, and any game where you can jump and fire downward.
Oh yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, so I like games like that. So that's why this is probably my number 1.
Yeah. It's
exactly more retro.
If I were to pick a game though, out of there, maybe I guess like one that I would want to spend more time with than any of the others, it's actually probably Space Gulls for me, because I just can't get over that whole mechanic, because it hits me in two different nostalgia points at the same time. And I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even ever think that there would be a game that would like mesh those two and actually do it well. But that game is that for me.
Dude, actually, even Bobble, because like the whole thing of like the non-combat Metroid based, and then Seagulls, like the whole like Mega Man vibes. Those. It's kind of funny. Those two games, and then Bat Puncher, because it was weird. Like Bat Puncher, I definitely felt like sad afterwards. I was like, I want more. And then we like talked about in the previous one. There's like the speed runs involve like a whole like secret thing of getting all the items. And yeah, this collection definitely for me, like it was all about discovery. It was all about like the bite-sized experiences. And
for sure. Yeah.
Sequel to Bobble. Yeah, I wonder, do they, I guess that's a good question. Is there enough games where they could come out with a Morphcat too?
I believe so.
Yeah, there probably is, for sure.
Well, they'll probably put out like 4.
Well, no, actually, no. Morphcat, no. They don't have that many games. I was thinking Megacat.
What was that?
I don't think there'll be a Morphcat 2 anytime soon.
Yeah. What were you saying, Pete? You said they'll probably put out.
I was just making a joke. They'll probably put out 3 more Micro Mages on there.
Right? See, I thought you said something funny.
Well, I only ever say something funny, but yeah.
All right. That's what we have.
He wasn't being funny. He was being serious.
He's our ever comedian. Uh-huh.
That's it.
That'll be his next YouTube channel. But
Ever comedian. Nice.
Ever comedian, yeah. No.
he's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's okay collection. I mean, it's nothing great.
Well, as we always say, there's not everyone's gonna like everything, and I think
exactly.
And I think that's good at the Evercade, because that means there's something for everybody. Oh, so, and we'll I'll roll into final thoughts and that kind of things. So the one thing that no one noticed, so like I changed the background here. It's hard, we're blocking it, but it's like that one of the pictures they have where like all the kids are in a room playing Evercade together, and
which never happens.
Yeah,
let's be serious.
John is the
demographic that probably never pick up an Evercade.
John is my picture.
You know what? They would if they didn't have any other choice.
Yeah, it's a hopeful thinking.
Yeah, fun fact, that picture.
Drop your Switch in your phone and grab an Evercade.
Yeah, for that a little fun fact for that picture from the BIC Evercast was that wasn't just some random image that I found on the internet. I shot that image. It was pretty cool.
Oh,
what image?
The image, the background of the Evercast while I was on my channel.
Oh,
I shot that image. So yeah, it was cool.
Oh, I was well done.
Right on this table.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was neat.
Did not know that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, so Steven brings up a good. Yeah, that's true. And I try not to make assumptions, or I know we all do our first reactions in the moment, like how we feel, which is fun. But yeah, then when you pop in that card, it's like, yeah, just kind of go with it. And some games will surprise you that you'll like more, and some not. Like I wasn't sure about the Morphcat collection.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Like,
yeah,
for most of it, like I think, well, you can make the assumption on the collections you played before, like the Atari collections or the Intellivision collections. For myself, played all those games before, so the assumptions are less of an assumption. It's just, yeah, I know what I'm getting. But for the newer ones, for sure.
Or it's at least, is this game what I remember it being like?
Well, unfortunately, I still can play all those games all the time, so I already know what.
Well, that's true. Like you'd say the same. Like if anybody could have loaded up. A lot of people probably have those ROMs sitting on their computer and just never boot them up.
I actually don't. I have those games, not the ROMs. I have the.
Well, yeah, but just playing it one way or another, people have access to it.
Yeah, Crow's House. That's his little smoke machine. He's living in the 80s.
It's funny. People at work were asking me this too. It's like, you have a fire? Why does everybody assume it's a fire?
On camera, it really does look like smoke. It really does.
Because of the news.
It's not smoke, it's mist.
Yeah. I question the people questioning you, saying, "Yes, I'm just sitting here nonchalantly with a fire behind me."
Here, look, if I move the chair, this way, there it is, right there.
Yeah. You ruined the illusion. Oh man.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Oh,
that was cool.
Yeah, actually,
the table's on fire.
It was released, and I actually bought a third monitor, partially because of that.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
It's like,
is it cool though?
The game? Oh,
yeah,
well, I've been playing early access, so nothing really. What was surprising was they released like 12 tables that they didn't announce on release day.
Oh, nice.
One of them was brand new. The other ones were from previous collections, but a lot of people were wondering where the Marvel tables were, and they put out 11 of them on day one.
Okay.
But they have a thing called the Pinball Pass, where you pay monthly or yearly or whatever, and then you have access to all the tables.
Yeah.
Well, there's some tables that aren't included part of that deal, and all the Marvel tables are part of that. So if you do the Pinball Pass, you don't have access to the Marvel tables or the Indiana Jones table.
Oh, that mouse is going to get you one way or another.
No, I got that stuck in my head.
Can you believe they're making a new Indiana Jones movie? It's like, seriously, the dude's 80 years old. I mean, come on.
That's what my wife said. I was excited to it. She's like, yeah.
If he survives a nuclear blast in a refrigerator again, I'm on board.
If he gets in the fridge now, he might never get out. I'm like, it's crazy. It's like, let the guy just that franchise. Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, you know what it is.
And they're going to probably kill him off, just like they did with Han Solo in Star Wars. Like, he'll probably fall in a ravine and do the Alan Rickman death from Die Hard.
You know what was ridiculous about that? They kill him in that movie, and then he shows up in the next one as a ghost? Come on.
Right?
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's how they turn one product into next product, right? I mean,
man, Disney is just ruining my youth with the stupid Star Wars movies.
Hey, you know what? They can't ruin your youth. Just ignore what they're putting out now.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
it's like that wasn't the thing. This was the thing.
Sadness.
It's all good.
Raiding the fridge. Yeah.
So he wants
anybody who gets so upset about that part where he hides in a fridge from a nuclear blast. I'm like, that's you've got a problem in a movie in which the whole series of movies is incredible feats of action. That this is what you're sticking to.
No, what's funny is like everybody brings up the raiding the fridge thing, but that didn't shock me as much as what happened in the Last Jedi when Princess Leia Supermans herself through space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
when that happened, I was in the theater like, what am I watching?
Yeah, it's like she's Super Jedi. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a little wild.
I rewatch all the Star Wars movies every year except for those three. I refuse to watch those three movies.
I gotta say, the Force Awakens was probably the best of those three.
No, dude, they just redid Star Wars.
That's why it was the best of the three.
Yeah, that's it.
And then they go back into non-canon and call the base Starkiller. Just God, for the love of God, like, jeez, J.J. Abrams is the worst director ever.
Oh. So you know what I feel like they
I have no ideas. Let's remake Star Wars with a bigger base.
Right. So what franchise they haven't ruined for me is Picard came out on the 16th, and I'm loving it. They're bringing back a lot of like the, from that era, that next generation characters.
Well, if you're enjoying,
bring them all back, right?
If you're enjoying Picard, don't watch Red Letter Media.
Oh no! Why?
Why is that?
They didn't like it.
Oh yeah, Red Letter Media. I don't know if you remember that they did a long time ago. They gained popularity by doing like an hour-and-a-half review of the Phantom Menace.
Oh wow!
Pointing out all the problems of that movie, point by point by point by point. And then they continued doing it with the next two movies too.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
but you know what though? You can look at any movie and just like be idiots about it. I find that's why I'm like, this dude, the dude from Cinema Sins. I like him. He's kind of funny, but I'm like, dude, you're just pointing out the obvious. Like, it's art, right?
Yeah, that's just a joke. Everybody knows that that's just a joke. He does, he's pointing out things that
Yeah,
for me personally, that's why I don't like show and movie critics, because my tastes I know don't align. Like I like video
games. I refuse to go by like video game reviews because like I need to play it myself. Like certain games I love got like a 7 out of 10, which for some reason a 7 out of 10 is considered garbage video games. That means 7 out of 10. Like 7 out of 10 means that's 70%.
Yeah,
but if you think about it, I think the reason it became like that is because if you only go by reviews, are you more likely going to buy a game that's 7 out of 10 or only focus on the games that are 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10?
Well, and that's the whole, we could do a whole show like an IGN, but that's the thing though. Really, it's like for reviews on things, that's why you want to watch a YouTuber or someone like us where you feel like your tastes kind of align and you know that if they like it, you're going to like it. That's really the only thing that I trust.
Yeah. But I like just to think like for school, if you get above 50, you pass. Yet for a game or a movie, if you get 51, it's considered a failure, which it doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe Canadian schools are different, but for here, you have to get like a 72% to pass.
Well, your schools are messed up.
Your schools are messed up.
Oh, man.
I think it's like 60 up here, I think. I don't know. I haven't been to school in forever. I just think it's kind of ridiculous. And especially like, I don't know. And they drop this 10 out of 10 score all the time for games. And I'm like, really? Like, really?
Yeah.
It's perfect. There's no problem. Let me boot that up and see how many bugs I can find within the first 10 minutes. Oh, yeah, no longer a 10 for me.
Well, all I have to do is look at it's like, oh, this game's a 9 out of 10. Who published it? Warner Brothers? Oh, no, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the problem because something like IGN, they're doing it just to draw traffic. So they're going to give either something a really bad or really good rating just so you'll click on the thing and watch, and then there's no
IGN
consistency.
Is soulless.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you call it? That idiotic company that does, I hate them.
Jeez.
I hate them so much I can't even speak their name.
Yeah.
Limited Run.
Oh, I should have known that's what you were gonna say.
Dude, check out like Limited Run. They put out like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure Collection, which is just garbage, and you can get like the digital version of it from the store. Like MLP did a video on it, and I think he only used his coins. Like it was maybe barely worth paying $1 for the Game Boy version, but they added nothing special except for like borders.
Yeah, I don't understand some of the stuff they released, to be honest. Like, and that's one of them. Like, who's gonna buy this?
Yes.
Don't get me started. I could go on a whole rant about that company and their shady practices, and they continue to do it. Yet they got so much payola with the big retro YouTubers that nobody will expose them for what they are.
Yeah.
Why don't you do it?
And if the kids don't know what payola means, look it up because that's exactly they're paying for. Yeah.
I didn't know that they started. See, that's what I mean. It's like really.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you know what's good news? Let's end on some Evercade good news. I got my actual. I can finally play Namco collections on my EXP. I got my replacement cards. So that was really cool. Yeah.
Nice.
All you got to do instead of whining about it on Facebook and YouTube videos, how about you send your cards? I love the people who are whining about stuff aren't even impacted by the cards.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's like they're complaining about it, but they weren't even the ones impacted by it. It's like, oh, God, people are morons, man.
Well, that's fun, but check out Pete's video on that. Like he did like a comparison and put the cards like right next to each other, and they totally.
That's like a millimeter, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's all it takes between that kind of stuff. I mean, me playing around with my 3D printer, I've learned that lesson the hard way many, many, many times. Yeah. Sometimes it's a millimeter. You don't think it's that big until you realize, oh, it doesn't fit. So
didn't they,
that's what she said.
The new EXP, the black one, they said they adjusted that so that the old fat carts will work in that anyway.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. That's right. So they must have shaved that that decides by that whatever 0.5 millimeter or whatever it is, just to give it enough room to have the cartridges come in and out easily. So
interesting. Instead of modifying the carts, I could modify the EXP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. RMGB got a good point. That's true. Super Rare Games, they do ship their games within a week. They only put them on sale when they have them in hand. So they are one of the good guys.
Yeah.
And their shipping is super cheap to North America.
To be honest, to be fair, that's what Limited Run used to do.
Limited Runs, let's not talk about them.
Well, let me talk about them because people complained that they would always run out of stock, which is why they changed it to the pre-order before they produced it in production, and now people are complaining that it takes too long to get
because of the fans, Crow. They saw money and they said like, oh, well, I'm going to switch it now so we can make even more money off these poor apps.
Well, yeah, you can see it that way. I don't see it that way.
Well, I mean, there's no altruistic motives behind what they do. It's all about money.
It's all about money because they're a business for sure.
That's true. Yeah. Just don't like them.
So,
what do you got going on, Rich, on your channel next week?
What do we got? Nice. Well,
limited run unboxing.
There will be.
I will have a limited run unboxing sometime in the future.
There you go. Nice.
I'm gonna go downvote that video.
Yes. There will be. Jeez. There'll be Fun for Fives returning to the channel because we have new things, multiple things. Of course, Indie Heroes 2. We're gonna be opening that and checking that out. It might be a little bit of a different Fun for Five because it's brand new. I've got it, and we have played. What is it? At least was it 8 of the 12 games I played. So we might do like a little bit something different for the Fun for Five there. There's gonna be a Fun for Five on Atari VCS. A new game dropped on Friday, and then by Tuesday there'll be another one. Hopefully that'll drop. Because rumor has it Aka R is going to drop on VCS on the 21st, so that might be a day one Fun for Five there. I'll use the video for the game that dropped on Friday. On Wednesday, do Indie Heroes 2, maybe Thursday, Friday, something like that. And then, of course, I got to slide in some of that great Golden Axe Warrior action. And I don't know if I'm going to try to do Dungeon 9 before Karg or do Dungeon 9 in Karg. But sometime, somewhere on some channel, there will be some more Golden Axe Warrior played, and we'll see how we can keep that train rolling. Because we're like right there. We're right there. So
yeah, we might just do that because we don't have any guests lined up for Karg next week. That might be kind of a good chilling chat.
We'll play in chat. Yeah. Let's see how far we can get. Wouldn't that be crazy though if I like blow through Dungeon 9 and then it's like, oh, let's go. Let's end it.
That would
work. Could be the end. So just keep those dials tuned to Karg because you never know.
So you're not going to be doing limited run unboxings then?
No, actually, I don't think I've ever purchased anything from any one of those like proprietors. Limited run, strictly limited, none of those.
Premium Super edition. Rare. If you're going to do any of them, do premium edition.
Premium edition. There's another one. There's 4 of them.
Well, they do really good like boxes and stuff. Their standard boxes are like slip outs with this.
That's
and
cool.
Then they all for every game they release, they have a challenge thing in here. So if you do the challenge, you can get a patch in the mail. Like
that's cool. Yes. That's premium edition? You can get the patches?
Premium edition. I could show you all the patches that I've gotten.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you did a video a while back and you showed off some of those.
I did a short, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Those stinking patches.
Yes, RMGB TV. It is a remake. Jeff Minter came back and reworked it, and it's different than the one that it is on Atari 50, for sure. And yes, the last animal. Yes, I mean it is the game, right? It's the game that I've been waiting to play and get through since childhood. So of course I'm going to take the time.
So Crow, what do you got going on next week on your channels?
Well, I've been playing Irem Arcade 1. I don't have anything planned per se to put out, but I'm halfway through Irem Arcade 1. Battle Chopper is probably one of the most difficult games on the Evercade, to be honest, if you're going to finish it. But then Pinball FX came out, so I'm going to be playing some of that stuff. So I don't know. I don't have a time schedule when things are coming out, but that's what I'll be working on.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool.
And then I think lastly on my channel, so hopefully I'm going to get a version of Indie Heroes. What?
I didn't do my channel.
Yeah, you were just making fun of the limited.
Go ahead. I just messed with you. Go ahead.
He's going to do a video based on how much he hates limited run.
Yeah, no.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see him.
I got to come some Evercade stuff. I got to get back to doing my retrospectives on the collections. I think I'm on number 9 or 10 of the original ones, where I go back and like revisit them and feel where my thoughts are today, as opposed to when I bought them over a year ago. So I'm gonna probably do some of those. I got some, obviously, tons of Steam Deck videos coming out, and I'm trying to find a Playdate game to play. The indie development on Playdate slowed down a little bit, so I need to try to find one out there. So if anybody has any tips on a Playdate game, let me know. Indie game. That's about it.
Cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
Because I finished most of the Playdate game stuff I've got, or I played them enough that I don't want to play them anymore.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. And then I think hopefully I'll get a version of Indie Heroes too, because I'd like to do my initial impressions on that. Otherwise, if not, I do have a backup video in mind. Either way, I'll be having something going on Wednesday. And of course, if there is any breaking Evercade news, you can expect to find that in all of our, any of our channels. And it kind of goes without saying, if you haven't, be sure to sub to all of our channels. Matter of fact, in the description, I put links to all of our channels. If you haven't subbed, do recommend to join the Discord. And there's we hang out there a lot, and there's also the Facebook groups if you want to take a chance. No, but seriously, no, it's there. I hang out a lot more in the Discord if I'm being honest.
There you go.
The only one thing that that would be a big hype overload for me, and it's meaning to put this in here, is that I hope the next carts set. I don't know, I have no inside information. It could be true, but I know somewhere Sean posted on Twitter something about the Fairchild, kind of like looking at the collections. Like if we got that as like the next announcement, just something to keep in mind.
Fairchild Channel F. What?
Fairchild, the Fairchild Channel F.
What Fairchild? Did you say Fairchild?
Did I say that wrong?
What were you?
The first car console.
Yeah, that's the Fairchild. Yeah.
You want a Fairchild Channel F collection?
I would not want
interesting.
That. It could be interesting. So
no, it won't be very hard. Those controllers are very weird.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want. To be honest, I owned one for a while. I wouldn't want a collection of games.
Me neither. I'm like.
Instead,
Atari,
if you want to do something
back is Atari 2600 for me.
If you don't want to do weird one, do the Bally Astrocade.
Yeah,
that'd
be kind of cool.
I want some weird. I want. I'm looking for some weird collection. So you're just thinking about looking.
Do the Vectrex, man. Get the Vectrex.
That'd be interesting.
They can do the overlays, and they've got it on the EXP with Tate mode. It's perfect.
Yeah, you could.
Dude, that would be good.
See, I'm just a way for them to print money. Go get the Vectrex.
Yeah. Now that we've got the pre-orders, I'm hopefully between now and any time then we could get the next carts announcements. Maybe they want to wait for limited edition, but to me, I'm still looking for that hype overload. But if now I have,
I just want them to fix as much software issues and EXP issues. There got to be something they can do software-wise that for the EXP to save. I think the CPU is running too hot or running too fast because it's heating up the system. They got to be able to fix a lot of those bugs with the EXP. So they should focus on that. Because I think there's something wrong with the EXP, because I am noticing after a couple hours it runs hot, and I think maybe they need to adjust the software or the firmware for the throttling on the CPU or something. Because there's no need for that to be running hot on the games that are being played on it.
No, not at all.
Either that or the screen is the one causing the heat.
Well, yeah.
I just want them to focus on software fixes.
Yeah. 2000% software fixes, quality of life improvements, firmware. On the other Evercast, Sean, he even said we're not coming out with any new hardware this year. So
maybe they could give us Asteroids Deluxe,
the proper one.
Oh man, yeah.
I think the only thing that can get me hyped now, to be 100% honest with you, I'm gonna be honest, is if they put out the Atari Activision collection. That's the only thing that would make me go.
Yeah, that would be super hype. We're not getting any word on that for a real long time though.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sony.
Yeah. and everybody else that's like just doing this weird thing with this deal. Figure it all out, get it settled, and yes, just start.
But they'll come out of left field with something, I guarantee.
Yeah, it'd be cool. So
we'll see.
Alrighty. Well, I think on that note, I think we can wrap up. I do appreciate everyone from joining. I'm glad it looks like everyone found my channel. Be the same time, next week. And look forward to everyone then, and hope you guys liked the new outro. So
later, gators.
Goodbye.
See you guys. Thanks.
That hand is way too skinny for him. That hand looks kind of bony.